Thanks to you, I've been fortunate enough to review many good quality components. Hello everyone, welcome to Tabama Hi-Fi Review channel. Today I would like to share a launch review of xDuoo A35 EL34 Tube Integrated Amplifier. Similar layout as line magnetic LM34IA classic push-pull design using one 12AX7 input tube with two 12AU7 drivers tubes for input stage, 4 EL34 power output tubes that pushing out 45 watts of power. It has 8 ohm and 4 ohm taps that you can choose. My case, most of the time I use 4 ohm taps. A35 has 3 analog inputs and 1 wireless Bluetooth digital inputs that uses ESS9018 Tube Amp chip in there for Bluetooth high-res playback. Good quality built with high quality parts that I can see all around inside this A35, as well as good quality volume control and accurate and responsive VU meter, and everything is well put together for just under $1,300. A35 comes with banana plug mounting tube cage made of metal. xDuoo color dark gray powder coated or painted a tube cage. Design wise, nicest tube cage I ever have. Very nicely designed tube cage, and it uses banana plug, and there's a little screw that you can even screw it down for security. So that is a good option, and they come included with long screwdriver for the purpose, including plastic remote control that use AAA dual battery in there. Sometimes the remote control is not sensitive enough if I'm using it from my listening position, which is 12 feet away. So remote control could improve a little in precision of the button response and the reach and sensitivity of infrared connectivity. So that's the one thing that I like to mention. So ESS DAC that included in this E35 is for Bluetooth digital to analog conversion, which is using Qualcomm aptX HD. So that is the circuit board that I will show you here. Internal voltage of this A35 is around 400 volts. To get the power to that DAC, they have to do a regulator to step down the voltage to really low, probably like 4 or 5 watts or less, or they have that regulators that connected between the both. So that is for the step down purpose and voltage regulation for DAC. I tried with soon to be review affordable R2R DAC from Musician Audio. It sounded beautifully with JBL L100 Classic 70 fit that I pair with. Incredibly smooth and rich and very forgiving sound, yes, they maintaining the dynamic and vivid attack in upper bass and mid-range area. So those areas are still there, but more refined and more enjoyable without getting bright. Very impressed with the way that it can deliver in that combination, and this A35 using in that. Then I moved to here after a few weeks and starting to use with these setup, my Pioneer T80 design S1EX towers, A35 volume control. 30 position will get me around my reference level, which is 6870 dB peaks. I started off with xDuoo TA32 using Romulus IC chip, Vibox audio silver, solid silver RCA cable from TA32 to A35, USB cable from my Sony NAS to TA32. That is Oya Ethernet cable. Speaker wires are Vibox. Totally sure how much this A35 amp is capable of. Mostly I went through a bunch of modern music as well as many of my reference tracks and usual tracks. Sound quality, as far as musicality goes, I have no complaint at all, right? The background idle noise, I don't hear it from my listening position. Signal to noise ratio is 93 dB, so that is pretty usual for these type of tube amps. No pop sound or anything when I turn it on. It has 60 seconds delay as soon as I push the front main button. And remote control is only for input selector and volume control and mute button. Significantly improve in sound quality when I switch it over to Galubido Divinity R2R DAC from that TA32. So I was playing around with two different DACs in this setup, and I was totally amazed by how much it can improve the sound, especially higher range of frequency, air and space and extension, as well as holographic notes and image that float around in the room, almost like reaching to me kind of presentation, as well as very dynamic and control based quality that it can produce with this Divinity R2R DAC combination, more so than that TA32 from xDuoo. Sound sample in this video I recorded with TA32 and A35 combination. Sound quality wise, I thoroughly enjoy listening to this A35. Separation and detail is very nicely done compared to other that sell for double or triple the price. So I was listening that combination. I went through a bunch of music, and I even crank it up to ear splitting level. 55 volume level on this A35 can get me around 88-90 dB range of loudness, of which is ear splitting level for me. I can't play that for a long time, but still work control and maintaining musicality. I was blasting the AC/DC back to black. After 85 dB or so, upper range and bass quality is slightly reduced driving the speaker. That is a slight weakness that I like to mention. Vocals and mid-range and everything is still well produced with good definition, but starting to have a little bit of sense that running out of juice in that range of loudness, apparently with this 89 dB sensitive tower speakers. So, but they still can produce good sound, not unlistenable or any sort. So, but as soon as I turn it back down to my reference level on this xDuoo A35 30 to 35 position, that's where I'm at. Depends on the music. If I'm playing DSD, raise the gain to 35. Most of the modern music, I use 30 position. Volume control of this A35 is very nice. I mean, nice feeling. Soft turning with soft resistance to it. Not ticky sound, but there's a slight resistance. And the display, I like the display as well as the VU meter. Generally, I'm not a fan of blue lights in audio components, so this just works fine for me. So price of $12.99, we are getting beautiful sounding, good quality tube amplifier with high quality Bluetooth option. I tried that Bluetooth option connecting with my iPhone from my home NAS that I built, Linux NAS, using PlaySub. I selected Bluetooth setting that A35 shows up. It connected effortlessly, easily, right away, and I can play music. But thanks to Apple iOS, I mean, I'm limited to AAC 320. I use 3 different DAC, TA32, Divinity, and soon to be review Musician Audio R2R entry-level DAC. It sounded beautifully. I like the best with both R2R DACs, more so than this TA32. I didn't have chance to try xDuoo R2R chip in this TA32 because I was busy, making comparison with other EL34 Tube Amp, so I will get to that later. Very nicely built. Hybrid built design. Point-to-point wiring directly goes to EL34 tubes. L-core transformer that is custom built and good size, that a capacitor for power reserve. Inside of it, you can see manual biasing tuning port. The blue one that you will see, it has to be done manually. That's the only downside if you are not seasoned tube amp guy, right? If you are a new guy, it's kind of challenging, high voltage and that. That's the option that they should have, like easy bias tuning on top of that chassis. And it doesn't come with biasing manual. I can bias it, but most people may not comfortable enough to do it. As far as sound quality go, I have no complaint at all. I mean, as good as any EL34 tube amps. So let's do a little bit of comparison just for fun. My experience of using these 4 different amps, this $12.99 EL34 amp A35 is not lagging behind. Sound quality and power delivery, it can put out 45 watts, and input stage, it uses similar input stage as Line Magnetic. Line Magnetic has a biasing adjustment dial on top. When you compare to Evo 100, it has auto biasing and all the easy option, as well as it can bias many different tubes like LM34IA. So those are significant different options, but for that you'll be paying a lot more. By the way, Galliant ES34 only one that has tone control as well as class A option, which is gonna be 20 watts. But tone control and those things works wonderfully, as well as the hybrid biasing option, but this one is going to be totally manual. And I don't know if there are any interchangeable output tubes like other amps. Comparing all those amps that I was using, very same speakers, sound quality, I mean, this $12.99 is not lagging behind, except that usability and auto biasing and all this stuff. Evo 100 and Line Magnetic has point-to-point wiring. Volume control, I think this one may be better volume control. And it has good quality aptX HD Bluetooth for modern music lovers, especially if you have Android smart devices, tablets or phone. You can get good high-res music playback. I know many people love using Bluetooth. That is a good option that comes with this $12.99 component on this A35. So price to performance, sound quality, and build quality, I'm not sure if I don't call this giant killer in 2026. I have no others to call giant killer, because excellent build quality, beautiful to look, and usability, and the way that I can feel and touches and everything is nicely done. Basically, I mean, if you are in the market for good quality and very musical sounding EL34 tube integrated amplifier in under $2,000 price range, this one is my highest recommendation for everything that I experienced. Totally, wholeheartedly recommend it to you, my friend. Thank you for watching and happy listening. Another exceptional product that you can get.
Something heavily led me to you. you let me do you. He burned the bridge to your heart all the way. How many times they'll live inside, oh, I can't say. When I was led to you, you were the one for me. I swear the whole world could feel my heartbeat when I lay eyes on you. great. On the bass, Mr. Torigoe Keisuke-san. On the guitar, Orima Yosuke-san. Yeah.